Hello everyone, this is Serious Trivia and welcome back to my channel. Today, in anticipation of the upcoming Liu Bei Let's Play, I'll be doing a series of videos of how to plan out your commanderies, how to build them up, commandery by commandery, starting with Dong. Dong is the first county you will settle in as Liu Bei faction. You start out without any territory, battle through yellow turbans on your first turn to claim the Dong iron mine, which we have here. I just quickly opened up a game and took it auto-resolved both, just to have this screen to show you guys how I plan out to build Dong, which I think is the most efficient, cost efficient, build efficient, gold generating efficient build there is for Dome. A couple things we gotta think about when we look at any commandery is what types of special county it has. For Dome, it has one special county, the iron mine, which we're currently in. Some counties will have 1, 2, or even 3, and judged on how they specialize, we can plan out accordingly to how we want to use our 6 building slots, which is the maximum amount you can have in the game. So let's first take a look at all the possible buildings for Dome. So this is a turn 1 look of Dome. We have the iron mine, which is a level 2 iron pit. It's producing us 5 prestige per turn, 200 income from industry, and 10 reserve capacity. And it also grants 10% discount to government building construction because it belongs to a military type for this building. If you're curious about how the building cost reduction works, please check out my other video about the 5 elements and how they're incorporated in the game. Now for this, we're very happy with having an iron pit. 200 industry income is not bad, and upgrading it would cost us 3,700 gold. It takes 4 turns, and we will only gain additional 100 gold income. The plus 300 is not 300 more, it's from 200 to 300. So the investment here in terms of time and how long we have to wait to make our money back, it'll be 42 turns later before we start seeing income from this investment. So this is not a very great investment. Don't go spending off your gold building this iron mine upgrade when you get it. You do get an increase in garrison, but that's not really going to be significant for your game. So what you want to do is first let's take a look at what Dong has. Dong currently as a settlement is a level 4 small city. It has 3 building slots, consumes 2 food, and has a bunch of other stats. I'm not gonna read it through. So you see, currently there's 2 building slot build. It's owned by the Yellow Turban's Huang Shao. So he's gonna build another building here soon before we take it, because they have upwards of 3 building slot and he currently only has 2. One of the building slot is a harbor building. Harbors are unique to Dong in that Dong is situated on the, if you look at the map, on the Yangtze River. So it has a harbor. But it's not a unique county. The harbor takes up 1 building slot and you have to live with it. So that kind of dictates how we want to build Dome. So we know it has an iron mine which produces industry gold all the way to 500 industry gold if you go down this tree, and 400 if you go down this tree. So we have industry income. In this game, income is divided into 3 main types: industry income, commerce income, and peasantry income. And each one receives further multipliers that's unique to that type. So you kind of want to maximize whatever type is available to you, so your multipliers could have the greatest effect. So we know Dong will have industry income. And furthermore, we know that since it has a harbor, a special harbor that others don't have, harbors give food production from fishing and commerce income. So we see it has a level 1 jetty, level 1 building in the harbor tree. So it will, if you look down to the final possible ones in the building tree for harbor, all of them have commerce income, all of them provide some fishing except for this one, which is more heavily geared toward just pure commerce and no food. Food is something that definitely you should consider, given there are so many strategies revolving around maximizing your food and using your food as currency with other AI factions. But for the purpose of my gameplay and also this video, we're going to just try to calculate the optimum economic impact of your building choices. So of these three final choices, the most attractive are the two on the right. They give the most base commerce income as well as higher percentage boost. This one does not even have any percentage boost. You see how this says plus 75% income from commerce? This means you'll take the sum of all your commerce base income and multiply it by additional 1.75, or just 75% additional income will be added to your commerce income. So this produce much less gold than this. Just the building themselves, this would just be a flat 160 per turn. This one with additional 75 would be a 350 per turn. So this is more than twice as worse as this building, but you do lose out on food. Here, this building is a unique building in that it's a spice trading port. It introduced a special resource called spice. This early in the game, we don't really have to consider it, but basically once you do have spice secured from special counties elsewhere on the map, you definitely want to switch over to this building. For the planning stage right now, we're going to be aiming down this tree and going for this building right here. Now, we know there's commerce income, which is blue, and we know we have industry income, which is purple. We can plan out our city. So we know we have 3 slots. The buildings currently here, the harbor building is the same version for the Yellow Turban faction as us, but the other building is a state workshop building. The current version for them is a communal workshop, which is the level 2 building for us too, except for it does not have the 10% discount for learning and market building. And we can't, this symbol means we can't further evolve this building because we don't know how to evolve Yellow Turban buildings. We can have the option of spending 1 turn and some gold to convert this building back into our version of the building. So the plan is when we take this city, we have a well set up city already. They have the base income building for industry. It has an industry specialized county. It has a specialized commerce income building in the harbor tree, and we have an empty slot, or whatever they built will probably demolish it. It'll probably be a Yellow Turban building, or most of the time it actually builds a grain storage, which produce some public water and give you some reserve capacity but doesn't produce any income. We'll demolish that and use that empty building slot as our starting point for our build path. As Liu Bei, when you do take Dong, the first thing you want to build in that last third spot is the Xuan Tax Collection. Now this is a strange building that I ignored largely our first couple of playthroughs until I realized how powerful this building is. The tax collection tree, like other factions, all cost 0 to build, so they're free buildings. They generate negative public water and gives you a flat peasantry income. The Liu Bei faction has a smaller penalty toward public water and a slightly higher peasantry income. And additionally, since this is a government building in the yellow branch of the building tree, it gives 10% discount to economic buildings in the purple branch up here. So what we want to do when we first get the city is not spend any of our gold and build one of these buildings to generate gold for us. The -3 public water is not detrimental to us as Liu Bei, because Liu Bei's personal trait gives +4 public water throughout his faction. So we don't have to worry about that. We just enjoy the +85 peasantry income. As well as this also unlocks a tree in the reform. The reform tree is the tech tree in the game. By building that building, you unlock this branch right here of the tree. If you do not build a tax collection building, you cannot start off this branch. This one's locked, the Bureau of Banditry. Once you unlock this tech and take this reform, you gain +2 public order, faction-wide, as well as ability to upgrade your tax collection to level 3. And if you continue down the tree, this tree gives decreased corruption, which is really powerful mid to late game, farther more public order, and farther more corruption bonuses. This is really a strong tree and something I recommend you look into. So by building that Xuan Tax Collection, we use up all our slots. Now we generate 85 peasantry income. We generate a little commerce income. We generate 200 industry income here, and 200 income from the iron mine down here. And that's something we're going to be happy with to start off as. And then we're going to be looking to upgrade our small city into a regular city and unlocking our 4th building slot. That's going to be our base build of 4 building slot, because in this game, once you have 4 building slots, to gain the 5th one, you have to upgrade from a level 5 city all the way to a level 7 city. If you take a look at 4, which we'll get the city at, you have 3 building slots, consumes 2 food. That's the important factor to look here. And upgrading at 1 more will give us the additional building slot, the cost of 4 more food. Now, to gain another building slot, you have to go through here, level 6, no additional building slot, but 4 more food, and then 6 more food, and allow you get your 5th building slot. But to go from here to here is quite expensive, time consuming, and food wasting. We'll be happy to complete or try to create a maxed out build with 4 building slot before moving on to 5 and finally 6 building slot. Even if you upgrade to the very end, you have a maximum of 6 building slot. So we'll be looking at mostly how to max out our build with 4 building slot as a city. And for most of these building chains, if you take a look, to build up to level 4 in the tree, you need to have a level 4 small city, which we have. But to build up to a level 5 building, you need a level 7 small regional city with the 5 building slot. So it's quite a big jump to go from 4 to 5. So we'll try to complete most of our build at a level 5 city before making that jump to the 5th building slot and a small regional city. Okay, so back to our build path. So we have our tax collection building, we have our harbor, we have our state workshop. That's our 3 building. We upgrade our city from small city to regular city, gain a 4th building. So what we're going to do with that 4th building slot is that we're going to take advantage of the Xuan Tax Collection's 10% discount to economic building and build a private workshop. A private workshop gives boost to commerce and industry as a multiplier. It also gives 10% additional discount to learning and market building, which are the blue buildings, the commerce buildings. At level 1, this is a very efficient building. It gives 2 multipliers. Although they're really small multipliers of 5%, 25%, this building has no upkeep. It's a free building. At level 2, you see, you have now 10 gold per turn upkeep, and you do have you double the efficiency of your building by jumping percentages for both. But the upkeep early on, when you don't have a big base industry and commerce income value, it's really not worth it. What we're really interested in is actually just building this, get that small bonus, and get that 10% discount for building, learning, and market building. The 10% discounts adds up. When you upgrade these buildings, they cost 2,000, 3,000 gold. With a state workshop and a private workshop, a 20% discount on that, it's about 600 gold. It's a very significant discount. That 600 gold with 1 upgrade basically gives you this building for free, which costs around 650. So we built this building. Now we are maxed out at our slots again. What we want to do next is actually demolish our Xuan Tax Collection to free up a slot. Because this building has really served its purpose. It has given that 10% economic building discount for economic buildings, and we have our buildings here at level 2 from when we got the city, and then we have a level 1 private workshop, which we're happy with not upgrading. Now, some of you might be tempted to upgrade state workshop down the tree on the left, which jumps the income from 200 to 300, but I will highly recommend you holding this off. Because of the location of Dong, if we zoom out and take a look, Dong is this province, which is the iron mine, and this city right here. The shape of Dong gives it a lot of adjacent commanderies all the way across. You know, there's 6 or 7 of them. So what you really want to do with Dong, with the state workshop, is you want to take the tree down the right. This tree right now, it looks like from the jump from level 2 to level 3 gives no industry income increase and gives only a -10 corruption bonus in the city itself. Now, corruption decrease bonuses are multiplied to your corruption. So -10% off. So if you have, like, say 20% corruption and you get this building, your corruption will be now 18%. It wouldn't go down to 10%. You do not add on corruption decreases. Then if you can upgrade it from level 3 to level 4, which is the highest we can go, so this is pretty much our base builds maxed out. You see this? You get a 50 gold boost, which is very small, but you get -10% corruption to all adjacent commanderies. This is huge. As you get to mid-game and you expand, corruption level will go up to 25%, 50%, I see even 60% in some of my games. So if you can reduce that in 6 or 7 commanderies with just one building, it's very powerful. It'll be well worth the gold of losing out this 150 gold from going down this path. Okay, so that's the way we want to go with state workshops eventually, but at this point right now, we don't want to make this upgrade because in the beginning of the game, we don't have any corruption. So there's no point to change this building into any of these buildings. It's really just not worth it. It'll be 30 turns before you get the chance to convert it back to corruption when you need it, and that income, you're not going to gain anything from that. So just hold off and keep your communal workshop. The urge to upgrade these buildings is so high, but don't. It's just not worth it. Keep your communal workshop, keep your private workshop at level 1, you're good to go. That way you don't need to do any more purple buildings. You don't need this discount on the Xuan Tax Collection office. You demolish this building. It was no cost to you. It generated a lot of income for you during all these turns when you're building a private workshop, upgrading your city one more time. Now you demolish it and you want to build the inn. The inn, like the state workshop, is the commerce-based generating building for the learning and market building trees. The level 1 inn gives you plus 100 commerce income gold and 10% commerce income multiplier for all your other total commerce-based income, which includes your harbor income. Okay, so with that said, if we built this, you're gaining more gold than when you had this. So why didn't we build this right away? One reason, you get a discount by building this when you built your private workshop and when you converted your state workshop from Yellow Turbo version to your version. Other than that, this building cost nothing to build, so there was no initial investment. So you're getting free gold, this 85 income from peasantry during all those time you were constructing other things and building up your army and using that gold for other things. Now that you have a new building slot, you can get rid of that for free with no loss, and then you can build this building now, the horse exchange, to gain this gold. You gain this gold, and now we have our basic 4 buildings we want to max out on. We have the inn, we have the harbor, private workshop, and state workshop. Of the 4, we already noted that the state workshop has no need to upgrade because we just don't need the corruption bonus, and upgrading it costs money and we don't gain any additional income. Private workshop would have upkeep, and the multiplier is not meaningful unless we have a big base for the commerce income. So what we're going to do is just that. We're going to work on creating that big base by upgrading these 2 buildings. Of these 2, once you have the level 1 horse exchange, there's no rush to upgrade the level 2 mail post, because if you take a look, the increase goes from 100 to just 20 more. You do get a nice multiplier, but just not worth it. What you want to do is you want to upgrade your harbor all the way from level 1 to level 3. That's the first thing you want to do once you have these 4 buildings. The reason is this. Level 1, level 2 look pretty simple. 30 income increase, 1 additional food. But at level 3 here, you get 25% boost that wasn't there before, as well as a 40 jump in income. So this is a big jump here from level 2 to level 3. This is what you want to do. You want to get this, you want to get that food, you want to get that multiplier. Now once you get this multiplier, another upgrade gets you another 40 gold, another 25%. Whereas if you do the N upgrade, it's really 15% and 20 gold. So this is very good. You want to go down this tree all the way to level 4. Once you're here, you switch back to the N and you go upgrade this all the way to level 4. Now from these 2 trees, the tree on the right is vastly superior, but it requires the resource tea. So we're just going to settle with the tree on the left. Tea growing regions of China are south of the Yellow River. We're just not going to reach it in time unless we get lucky and have a trade partner that have access to tea, which is also highly unlikely. But keep an eye out. If you do get tea, switch over to the Grand Tea House. So far, after you have the harbor level 4, you upgrade your N all the way to level 4 for 160 base commerce income and 75% income from commerce. Now you have this, and you have the harbor at level 4. Your base commerce income is all the way at 310. We can head back and upgrade our private workshop. Private workshop, even though it's in the industry tree, economic tree, where it focuses on industry, the most of the percentage increase is going to be in commerce. And you notice that even though jump from level 1 to level 2 introduces the $10 upkeep per turn, it stays 10 as you upgrade it farther, all the way to level 4. At level 5, you have another jump. But all the way to 4, you keep it at 10. So once you build up that base commerce income from harbor and N, you can start upgrading it all the way to level 4. Also at level 4, you notice that you unlock the Artisan Resource. This is going to be key, especially for Dome, because for Dome Commandery, the level 4 iron mine that we want to go for, the craft work village, which gives 400 gold, versus the military supply village, which only gives 350. You do gain 5 additional military supply for local armies, but that is really not a great buff. Very rarely have I needed local military supplies. I need it when I'm out in enemy territory, but I don't need it when I'm home. The 5 additional is really not worth it for the 50 gold per turn cost. So we're going to go down this route. But if you notice here, outside of tech requirements, you also require artisan. So to go down this tree, you're going to eventually need an artisan. And private workshop is one way we can unlock that. So we upgrade this all the way to level 4, and which is the highest we can go with a small city. And then we go to iron mine and upgrade iron mine, hopefully with tech that we now need for this. This tech is called shaft mining. It's available to us from the very beginning because we own a mine, but we're not going to take this for a while because there's just other more efficient reforms. But at that point in the game, when we're approaching the time to build the mines, we can upgrade this, and it gives, if you can see, it gives minus 20% cost for mine construction. So this is crucial. When we actually do want to upgrade the mine, we want to do it as efficiently as possible, because we talked about how inefficient it was to go from here to here. So with that reform taken, we go from level 2 all the way to level 4. So that sets up with a level 4 iron mine, level 4 private workshop, level 4 inn, level 4 harbor. And for state workshop, if you notice that corruption is becoming an issue, which hopefully it's not, you can start heading down this way. but I think at this point in the game, it's still not a big enough issue. If it's not over 20%, this is not really worth it. So we can hold off on this even now, because this is only from here to here. It's only 50 gold. 50 gold is not a big deal. And if you only have 10% corruption in nearby cities, 1% recovery of the amount you lost, it's going to be what, maybe 2-3 gold per city. It's not worth it. So we keep this at level 2. We are fully built on our other buildings, and we can now look to spend the gold into upgrading our settlement administration all the way from a city to a small regional city to unlock that 5th and final slot. Not final, but 5th slot. There's still the 6th slot. So once you're here and you have an open slot, what you want to do is you want to go back and build your Xuan Tax Collection. You get peasantry income. The disorder is not an issue for you because you're Liu Bei, or it shouldn't be an issue for you. And you get that 10% construction cost reduction for the economic buildings. Once you get this, and this is probably 15 turns has passed since you went from down this tree, your corruption is probably creeping up a little bit, and you have the discount here. So now go in here and finish out your buildings for private workshop and state workshop. For private workshop, you probably want to do this first because this generates money. You take artisan workshop and you want to upgrade it here if you have timber, and you should have timber because there's a timber mine where Koron is. He should definitely be one of your trading partners. If not, you can, if you are lucky to conquer his territory, which is okay too, you should have timber, so you want to go for this building. It is 10 additional upkeep, but a whopping 65% additional income from commerce and a 300 base. That's at least 190 gold per turn, and then you get a 15% increase in industry, which at this point we should have about 600 base industry. So this 15% on 600 is at least another 90 gold. More than enough justify to go for this more upkeep building. And then with the discount of the Xuan Tax Collection, you blaze through this side, go all the way to this for your 300 gold industry base, minus 15% corruption nearby commanderies. And then when you're done with these two, you can demolish the Xuan Tax Collection because it has served its purpose of giving you that 10% discount. Now at level 5 building, notice how this all the way to 4 is 10% discount. Level 5 you have 15% discount. 15% discount for learning and market building. So once you have 2 of these, it's 30% discount. Now you turn attention back to the blue buildings. With an empty slot, you want to build a market wharf. Level 1 is sufficient right now. This gives you farther percentages for commerce. It has an upkeep cost. That's why we didn't build it first. We focused on the 2 that provide a base commerce income. So now you build a market wharf in the empty slot, but there's no rush to upgrade it because this doesn't increase base income at all. You build one just to use up that empty slot and not waste it. And then you go in with your 30% discount. You upgrade your inn to level 5. You upgrade your harbor to level 5. Preferably harbor first because it's just more gold. Actually, no. At this point, this is a $40 jump in base, 25% jump. This is a 50. Okay, this is a 50 jump in base, 25%. So it is better to do harbor first. Harbor first, and then inn next. And harbor is more expensive. So it depends. I think if you calculate it out, I don't know which one's worth, but just take your pick, get both of these up, and then you want to upgrade your market wharf all the way through. The choice of splitting here between these two is whether or not you have a significant amount of trade routes, because you're trading off 20 extra upkeep per turn for 20% trade influence. And this one does provide some undercover network costs for enemy spies, which is nice, but let's think about the money here. So if you have a good, steady group of trade routes, possibly to your vessels or allies. You want to go this route here. It's higher upkeep, but you get 20% extra trade influence, which should more than enough make up for the upkeep costs. Once you upgraded the wharf all the way to level 5, you now have level 5 wharf, level 5 inn, level 5 harbor, level 5 private workshop, level 5 state workshop. You're pretty set, and then you take your time, you upgrade your iron mine. Oh yes, let's not forget iron mine upgrade. Iron mine upgrade, we don't have any bonuses to the military branch, so you can pick your time to do this last upgrade. It does increase base income for industry, which is great, but your multiplier with this build is only 40%, so you're looking at additional 140 gold, whereas with each upgrade here, this one gives 50% to 300 base, it's 150, and then every upgrade is 25 additional. So maybe you want to upgrade your iron mine before you build out your entire market wharf, because this also has upkeep costs and this does not. So you want to upgrade this one first and then go down your market wharf. After all these are complete, you upgrade your city, and then you have one final slot. This one's flexible, but I recommend taking advantage of Liu Bei's faction unique Xuan Tax Collection, and if your public order can support it, go as high as you can. It's just free income, no cost, and that's your city of Dong, and that's how I plan out to build it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you guys have any comments or have any other ideas for the city, please share and let me know. I'll be doing this type of video for other commanderies as the Liu Bei Let's Play campaign kicks off and continue. Right now I'm planning to do the next video on Taishan, because with how I plan out to play the campaign, taking Taishan is my first step into conquering China. And thank you for watching. Please subscribe and offer your support, and see you next time.